Hello, everyone. My name's Troy. I like to read, and welcome to another new comic book day vlog on the Feet Lovers Pizza channel. I hope you guys are doing well, staying warm. I think I said this last week. It snowed last week. It snowed again this week. It is so cold. So please, I hope you guys are staying safe, staying warm. I'm excited to get books today. Obviously, I'm excited to get books every week, but I don't know. I'm feeling good today. I'm really excited to get some books. Before we get into all that, boom, song of the week. The Do It remix by Underscores featuring Eve, I think it's called. The original song, Do It by Miss Underscores, really good. Really good. I got into Underscores maybe a little under a year ago. I've been trying to get into more of her stuff. The new songs, the new singles run she's on right now, so good. I don't know enough about this Eve lady. I think she was in a K-pop group, but good song. It'll get you moving. Listen to it, please. Before we go and buy our lovely books of the day, we gotta talk about the books from last week. So let's roll the clip. Hi guys. Let's talk about the books from last week. So I only had 3 pulls, and we're gonna talk about them in the order of what I liked the most to what I liked the least. So starting off strong, we have Nightwing issue 134 with a wonderful Elizabeth Porter. We love her. I think she has some more ready to come out this week, so I'm excited to check that out. But yeah, we have Nightwing. This is written by Dan Waters, illustrated by V. Ken Marion, I believe it's pronounced. And this was another good issue. This it's part 5 of the Cirque du Sen arc, which follows the Zanny, the new villain that was introduced in this run, just terrorizing Nightwing and kidnapping children. And like, I know I sound pretty excited about that, but like, it's a cool concept. I like the idea of like there being a god of the circus, and he wants like Nightwing to be the leader of his legions or whatever. And you know, usually Nightwing beats people up by like hitting them with his fancy sticks. Well, obviously you can't really punch like a god in this sense, and they go over that in this issue. So it's more of a battle of wits. And what happens is the Zanny sets up these cans on the table. These cans right here. And this whole little setup represents Bloodhaven. And basically he makes a wager with Dick, like, if you destroy more of Bloodhaven, I'll let the kids go. But if I destroy more, I'm keeping these 9 kids forever. So it's like, what would Dick choose? Saving 9 kids or saving his whole city? You know? I thought it was a good premise. And as the balls are being thrown, like, the city of Bloodhaven is being fucking destroyed, I thought it was really cool. And, yeah. Good issue overall. Shows a lot of, like, Dick's mental fortitude when it comes to these things. Like, he is the son of Batman, and you can see it through like his detective skills and his reasoning. But he outsmarts the Zanny by throwing Nightwing, Nightmite. He throws Nightmite soup at him, and he starts getting the upper hand. But it ultimately ends with Titan's Tower being destroyed. With Bryce still in there, Nightwing Prime, Bryce is still in there, so I assume he'll be okay, but he did get shot by Kryptonite a few issues ago, and he's still like in a coma, so we shall see. But the thing about like doing something like this is the Titans Tower is quote unquote destroyed, right? But the Titans book, like the Teen Titans book, well not Teen Titans, but just the regular Titans book, is still going. Is it destroyed in the Titans book as well? I always wondered about stuff like that when it comes to like there being a team book like the Justice League and just like the Superman book, and if something crazy happens in the Superman book, does it affect the Justice League book? I don't know. I don't read Titans. I've heard it was kind of mid. But this, the issue was good. The issue was good. I'm excited to see the conclusion of the Cirque du Sen arc. I believe the next issue is the final issue with Mr. Dexter Soy on it. He's not on this issue, but I really like his art. I'm going to miss him on Nightwing. But I'm sure the next artist will be done. I'm excited for the next arc anyway. This is Nightwing is really good. If you're not reading Dan Waters' Nightwing, you should fix that right now. Next up, we have DCKO Green Lantern Galactic Slam. About the Juan Ferrer variant. Shout out my go Juan Ferrer. This is written by, I think, Jeremy Adams. Hold on, let me confirm this. Oh, maybe not. Yeah, written by Jeremy Adams with artists Cyan Tormey and Matt Bowden. And it follows the journey of Mr. Kyle Rayner during DCKO. I think I said this last week, but I have not read anything that has to do with Kyle Rayner, but I think he's a cool Green Lantern, and I think a lot of people like him, so I've wanted to read more stuff about him. And this is my first forte into anything about him. And if I'm being completely honest, he is not the focus here. The focus is on a man called Omega Bandman. He's a wrestler. There's like this intergalactic wrestling league, and they go around to dying planets and put on like a giant wrestling match right before these planets die, so that people have like something to watch before they die. It's a really cool concept, I'll be completely honest. And half of the issue goes into like his backstory, and that's when it goes into the other artists. And it was really nice. I honestly thought he was a really cool character. Like, there's a quote somewhere in here that's like, they repeat it once in the beginning, but they repeat it at the end. When life gets hard, we get harder. And I just thought, that's a good way to see things, You can't let life beat you down. I thought it was really cool. Like, I grew up watching a lot of wrestling with like my grandpa, so I guess I always have like a soft spot for it in my heart, and I thought this was a really fun issue. But my biggest complaint is that they introduce the character that Omega Bandman is inspired by, who is I believe it's Bro Mega. He's like his mentor, and we're told that he dies. Bro Mega dies in a match, but then later in the issue, it's just revealed that he faked his death and he's been working with Darkseid the whole time. And I guess that's cool, but it erased some of the motivation that Omega Bandman had, and I feel like it undermined him a little. But overall, it was a really fun issue. Nothing really crazy. Apparently, we will see more of Omega Bandman in the Green Lantern series. It says at the end. Will I read Green Lantern? Probably not. I don't really know much about him, but I like this guy, and I maybe if I'm inclined, I'll read the issues just with him in it. But yeah, the power scaling was a little weird. Like, they have this one lady, I think her name was Knockout. She seemed to be pretty strong, and Kyle literally just takes her out with a chair, and I was like, I get he's a Green Lantern and all, he's like one of the most strongest ones, but this is a fight for the universe, and we're knocking people out with chairs. I thought the power scaling would be a little more in depth, but overall, it was good. I had a fun time. I enjoyed it a lot more than I thought it would, even though it doesn't really focus on Kyle as much, but that's okay. Finally, we have Superman Unlimited issue 9, written by Mark Waid and the art by Mike Norton, I believe. This issue was fine. All of Superman Unlimited has been fine so far. It's probably the thing on my pull list most close to being dropped, because I think I mentioned this last week. The premise of Superman Unlimited was really cool, with like a giant ball of kryptonite falling onto the Earth, and Clark Kent having to deal with like kryptonite being accessible to like damn near anyone. But a lot of the series does not focus on that, and that was a big problem for me. But this issue focuses on Perry White, the mayor. He's going around doing stuff, and the prankster, I believe it's called. Yeah, the prankster has been assigned to kill him. And what he does is he takes people who are well known and have done like good things for society, and kills them in crazy ways. Like, someone was killed with like a pie to the face, and they were deadly allergic, so they died by pie. I believe someone got a piano dropped on them at some point. Piano. A gender reveal balloon killed them. But with Mr. Perry White, he was going to get smothered by baseballs at a baseball game for the Metropolis Meteors. And Superman comes to save the day, obviously. But later, they were gonna give Clark the key to the city, and then make a joke about it happening like all the time. But the key was made of kryptonite. Plot twist. And I was wondering, like, oh, is Clark gonna use his like Super Saiyan form? He does. He turns gold. It's cool. I wish he uses more in the series that introduced it. So he has to deal with that, and it only lasts for like 200 seconds, I think, and then he's vulnerable again. But you know, I was happy to just see the gold form come back because I think that's cool and they should do more with it, and I think they should use it in other Superman books as well. But the issue basically ends with the prankster being upset that Clark compared him to the Trickster and not the Joker. Like, I guess the Trickster is like a fucking D-list villain, and he wants to be compared to someone like the Joker. So then he sets his sight on Clark Kent instead of Mayor White. And it was like a fun wrap-up, you know. Subverted my expectations a little. But I don't know. This series is okay. I don't love it, but I'm still waiting for the Superman, the Superboy stuff they're doing after TCKO. Maybe it'll pick up then. I know people don't like John Kent as like a teenager and they prefer him when he was like younger and before he was aged up. And apparently they might be going back to that. So we'll see. But overall, fine issue. But yeah, that's all the books from last week. Let's go to the car to get this week's books. Hello everyone, welcome to the car. I'm thinking of like giving this segment like a name. I don't know. My first name's Appa. I was thinking like, what if I called it like "Welcome to Flying with Appa" or whatever. But I don't know. Maybe that's corny. But we're here. Let's talk about the polls for today. I believe I have 4. That being Absolute Wonder Woman, Absolute Batman, the Infernal Hulk, number 3, and the Bug Wars Spider Witch special. Let's start with the Absolute Batman. I believe that's going to be the pick of the week for most people. It is the second team up between Bruce and Diana of this world. The first one was in the last issue of Absolute Wonder Woman, and it was cool. It was nice seeing, I like seeing Hayden Sherman's art, drawing Bruce from this world. I believe they were like fighting like this weird cult that was doing weird stuff in both Central City and Gotham. And this one, you know, little one-off story, nothing big. The two crossovers have like nothing to do with each other, I'm pretty sure. But one thing I found fun from that issue is when their whole like debacle was over, Diana gave Bruce this little like charm thing. It was like pendant, and she was like, "If you ever need help, just like call me using this, and I'll show up." And I think it's really funny. Like, he might do this. Like when he's fighting the Absolute Joker, like they're really pushing right now. I think it'd be really fun if he just summoned Diana like fucking Maharoga from JJK. With this power, I summon the Princess of Hell, Diana, and she just beats the fuck out of the Joker because it's fucking Wonder Woman and she can dog pretty much almost anyone in this verse. But yeah, I'm excited for this issue. I don't know what the plot is, but we'll see. And speaking of Miss Diana, she also has an issue today. I believe this goes more into depth with her and Absolute Zatanna, and we know we love Zatanna, whatever. I really like her design. There's some cool variants for this issue. I saw they announced a DNA variant. I don't know if it's for this issue or the next issue, but I haven't seen it on League and Comic Geek, so I don't know where I'd be able to even try to acquire that. It's probably some like special exclusive comic book store exclusive or whatever. But I'm excited. Absolute Wonder Woman is really good. I want them to team up with Absolute Superman, because I know that book people have a lot of gripes with, but he is still a part of this world. You know, we still should be a part of the Absolute Trinity, and he needs some friends. Absolute Superman. I need him to hang out with Bruce and Diana in this world. I think they all get along very good. But yeah, what else we got? Infernal Hulk number 3. This series came to me like I was just at the comic store one day and I saw issues from the Incredible Hulk the last run made by Philip Kennedy Johnson and Nick Green, and I saw the art and I was like, this is awesome. This is some of the best interiors I've ever seen. So I read the whole thing, the whole like 30-issue arc in like 2 or 3 weeks, and I liked it a lot. So I was like, well, the Infernal Hulk is like a continuation of this book, so I'll just pick up Infernal Hulk. And it's been fun so far. I think this issue coming out today is going to go into what's been happening with Bruce, since in the final issue of Incredible Hulk, Hulk and Bruce got like ripped apart physically, so they're not together anymore. So this is going to go into what Mr. Bruce Banner has been up to. The sad thing about this series is I don't have issue 1 yet. I wasn't able to find it at any of the stores around me, and there was a reprint that happened, but my good buddy Dave at the comic collection store didn't order any, so I wasn't able to acquire any. But I think I talked to him either this week or last week about trying to get that in, so maybe one time soon I'll get it. But I really don't like not having issue 1s for series I read, you know? It's like, if I want to reread, what the hell am I going to start with, you know? But I'm sure I'll acquire it eventually. And finally, we have the Bug Wars Spider-Witch special. And if you guys need to know one thing about me, I love Bug Wars. Bug Wars was my favorite comic book series of 2025. Written by Jason Aaron with art by Mahmoud Asrar. I might be pronouncing that wrong, but it's really good. I've been waiting for this special. They announced it at the final issue of the first section of Bug Wars. They're doing it in different books, and I've been waiting for it ever since. It comes out today. I'm so excited to read it. I will always accept more Bug Wars in my life. I was watching an interview that Jason Aaron did, and I think he explained it there are gonna be different books of Bug Wars every summer. So last year was the first book. It was the first 6 issues. It ended. It had its run. And so this summer, hopefully, we get book 2. Maybe it's announced at the end of the Spider-Witch special today. And then I think except for lore purposes, they'll do specials every now and then about the different clans. There's the ants and there's the needles, the bees and spiders. It's so cool. It's so cool. What do people say? It's like Honey, I Shrunk the Kids meets Game of Thrones. It's sick as fuck. I'm so excited for the special. Yeah, those are the main pulls for today. But I have had my eye on Assorted Press's Events by Dennis Camp, and I follow him on Twitter, and he's tweeting a lot, specifically about issue number 8. There's something very special about issue number 8, and it's an anthology series, so it's not chronological. Every issue is its own story. So I was I didn't pick it up last week, but I'm hopefully it's still there, and I think I'll grab it today. And along with that, I've been thinking I want to collect more just variants, even for stuff I don't really read. I want to have a segment in my short box specifically for cool variants, because I like art, and buying variants supports art and artists. So if I see any cool variants today, I'll get them. But I think that is it. I will see you guys at the shop.
What's up, guys? I think we know it by now. We are once again back at the Comic Collection in Bensalem, Pennsylvania. You know how this goes. If you're ever in the area, stop by and say hello to Dave. All right, y'all, let's get into the books for this week. Starting off strong, we have Absolute Batman number 16. Pretty important issue. It's the second crossover with Absolute Diana. I just went with the A cover today because there's a decent amount of variants, but I don't love any of them. So I just went with the cover A. We have a reprinting of Batman Deadpool with A cover by Jorge Jimenez and colors by Dan Mora. We have a variant with Magic and Selena Kyle, which are 2 characters I love, but it's kind of ugly, so I didn't get it. Bug Wars, my baby. Really excited for this one. I also went with A cover, and Dave only had 1 in the shop, so I was happy I was able to snag it. Moving on, we have the DCKO, The Kids Are All Fight special. I was considering getting this because I like John Kent and Cassandra Cain, and this Junie Bog cover was probably the one I was going to go with. But I ultimately let it go. Maybe in the following weeks, if I hear good things about it, I might pick it up. But just for today, we just left it. Moving on, we have a new issue of G.I. Joe. Loving everything coming out of the Energon universe. I cannot wait for the new comic book day special they do every year. Next up, we have some Flash. I want to read more Flash because I used to be a really big fan of the show, but I've never picked up any books. Maybe I'll start with Absolute Flash because I've heard good things. We have Final Boss here. In Image Comic, I was considering getting, but I peeped through the first issue and didn't love it, so I left it. Maybe I'll catch up to it when the first trade comes back or something. Moving on to Harley Quinn. I don't read the series, and I don't know anyone who does read the series, but I know my goat Elizabeth Torque made a lot of A covers for it, so. New book this week, Iron Man #1, written by Joshua Williamson. I'm a big fan of his work. I love his work on Superman, and I know he's killing it on G.I. Joe. And I was considering getting this, even though I don't really care for Iron Man as a character. But come on, look at this beautiful Elizabeth Torque variant. I almost bought it just for that alone, but I think I'm gonna leave it for today. I'll be real. Moving on, we got some Justice League books. I've heard good things about Justice League Unlimited, but I'm in no rush to read it. I did like this cover though. I thought it was really funny how it was all the ladies on the team, and then just Kyle Rayner in the corner. Absolute Martian Manhunter. I read the first trade for this like 2 weeks ago. One of the best comics I've ever read. I cannot wait for the second one to come out. Here we have a new Marvel Zombies book. I'm sure someone is excited about that. That is not coming up with me. Marvel needs to pick up their game this year because I feel like, and I feel like also a lot of people feel like they're so lacking behind DC and even Image when it comes to comics. It's insane. Here's the new Sorcerer Supreme book. Wanda's the new Sorcerer Supreme. I thought it was a really boring choice to make her Sorcerer Supreme, considering they were like teasing a bunch of other different people who don't get a lot of spotlight in Marvel being Sorcerer Supreme. But I guess I shouldn't be so surprised it went to Wanda. Moving on, we have a Supergirl special along with the new issue of Superman. I read this series through trades, but I like looking through it to see any cool variants, and I found this one where the artist drew Superman as like a Dragon Ball character, so I decided to pick it up and take it home today. Void Rivals is another series I collect through trades, and even though I haven't bought any singles yet with any cool variants, I'm really loving the current arc it's going through right now. The Quintesson arc, the Quintesson War, it's so good. After checking out this week's new books, I went to see if they still had Assorted Crisis Events issue number 8, and lucky me, it was there. The only issue that was ordered, and no one bought it within the past week, so I did take it home with me. After that, I went to check on some of the bigger single copies. I don't know if these have like a proper name, but there's a new series coming out, I think next month, called The Mischief of the Magpies, and I thought it looked really cool, so I wanted to check out like what size format it was in. Like, I know DC does it sometimes, as you can see with Catwoman, Lonely City, and I know Distillery, they're the main ones that do it, so I wanted to check out like what it would be like to hold one in hand, basically. But another thing I was wondering about these things, like, how do people fit them in a short box? Because they're a lot bigger than your average single. So I'm like, do they have special short boxes for these things? Because if I'm going to collect the series, I want to know, because I want to keep my books in good condition. But anyways, I saw these cool issues of Wonder Woman Dead Earth by my goat, Daniel Warren Johnson. I read this online, pretty good. Maybe if I feel like it, I'll pick up the trade or the singles. But yeah. We have some Frank Miller art. Not the biggest fan of him, but he's a goat for the reason. But that's all I had today at the shop. Let's go see what I got back at the house. See ya.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to my house. I'm back from the comic book store. I got all my pickups. I'm about to go over them in a second, but before that, I got a quick little thing to say. This snow is like crazy. When I went to the store to pick up my books, there was no parking spots because half the lot was covered in snow. I had to park like half a mile down the road and then traverse in these ridiculous conditions. Like, you know how old people are like, oh yeah, to get to school I had to climb 6 mountains and go through the goddamn Amazon rainforest. I just did. That's what I did to get these damn comic books. But you know, it's worth it because that's what we're all here for, you know. So let's get into it. All right, starting off strong. Boom. Absolute Batman. Number 16. Featuring beautiful Absolute Wonder Woman. Speaking of Absolute Wonder Woman, also number 16. Featuring beautiful Absolute Zatanna. Excited for that one. Infernal Hulk. Number 3. Excited to see what Mr. Bruce Banner has been up to since the split. My baby. Bug Wars, the Spider Witch special. I'm so excited to dig into this. I need it. This is gonna be the first thing I read. Also, while I was there, I was able to find Assorted Crisis Events number 8. I'm excited to read this. It has like, the reason Mr. Dennis Camp is talking about it so much is because it's like on newspaper quality, and also there's a lot of fourth wall breaks in this. I'm excited to see. It seems really cool. And I know I mentioned earlier I wanted to look for more variants, so I picked up this Superman 34 strictly because the artist drew Superman like a Dragon Ball character. I thought it was really cool. I'm not sure who the artist is, but I gotta look up for more of their work if they're gonna keep doing shit like this. That's cool. And a surprise happened to me. When I was there, Dave was like, I think I got something that'll make you happy. So I'm like, what are we talking about, you know? Boom! Infernal Hulk number 1. The one I was talking about earlier that I was not able to grab the reprint for. He got a shipment in yesterday. So now I have the whole run, even though it's only 3 issues, but I now have all of Infernal Hulk. So I'm really excited. But yeah, that was it today. I got a lot more books than I was expecting to, but that's fun, you know. I like books, so I'll get as many as I can. But I think that is it from me. Stay safe, be kind, read more comic books. I'll see you guys next week. Bye.